Hello, guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. There's the introduction. Remember, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your engagements really mean a lot to me because without you guys, then there really isn't any reason for me to be doing this video because it's as good as if I'm talking to myself. All right, so please make sure that you subscribe, drop a comment, share this video with people whom you feel it will be useful to. Send me a DM, whether on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and let me know that you watched this video. Alrighty, so on today's video, I'm gonna talk about things that I wish I could have known when I started my business, or just starting anything for that matter. Obviously, I'm always going to refer to business or entrepreneurship when I speak because mostly this channel and the work that I do is related to businesses, entrepreneurs, freelancers, anybody who's just a creator, creating their own work, doing their own work, independent solo professionals. That's who we are, the ones that make this economy go around. I'm joking, guys, but initially, this is like an entrepreneurship business related channel based on the work that I do for people who have businesses or are aspiring to open businesses and so forth. So I'll always refer back to businesses, but please, my teachings, my advice will always be applicable to other areas of your life, right? So listen to me speak and think, which area of my life do I need this teaching in, and apply it there. Awesome stuff. So today I'm gonna talk about things that I wish I would have known when I was really starting my entrepreneurship journey, starting my business and growing my businesses. I wouldn't, and I just like to really clarify and make things clear that I wouldn't do anything different to when I started, because I truly believe I was who I was supposed to be when I started, and I knew what I had to know when I started for me to become and develop into the person that I am today. There was absolutely no way that I could have been different when I started. And I appreciate and still appreciate the journey that I went through when I started my businesses, even though some of them were just completely sad and frustrating, but it made me who I am. So I appreciate that journey, right? So I would much rather, instead of saying things that I would change and do differently, I would much rather say things that would have been nice to know, or nice to do, or not struggled with when I started my business. And I think that's the most important thing about having a coach, whether a business coach or whatever coach in whatever department of your life that you need a coach in, is that they are able to help you maneuver in a way that instead of making mistakes 10 times, you make them twice, or instead of something taking you longer to achieve, it takes you a short period of time. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the beauty of having a coach. And I didn't have that back then. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys, and hoping that I can be that coach to you, just to really take in what I'm about to say and say, how can I make sure this is better for me, or experience it better? I'm not saying that let go of the challenges that you go through. You need them, right? You are different, you are unique. Whatever your business is different, it's unique. How you do things, your vision, your goals, what you want to achieve is very unique. And therefore, take what applies to you and chuck what doesn't apply to you, but appreciate your life, where you are at, what you are going through, and just take what you feel will move you forward and you need. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. I'm just going to grab my laptop because I made some notes here, so I don't want to blab. I want to try keep this video as short as possible. So when I started my businesses, I didn't really even think that I was studying a business. Well, growing up in high school, primary, I had businesses, but I never really thought like it was a business. For me, it was just something very natural. I've always been a natural at starting, having an idea, starting a business. I've had a spaza shop back home when I was like literally, I think in grade 5 or 6. I've opened a modeling school. I've had a dance school. I've had a after school care. Although those things weren't really formalized, but I had those businesses at a very, very young age. So at the back of my mind, I've been running businesses, but I never really thought of it as a business. It was just the thing that I did because I did it. I went to university and I was still very much business minded. I've sold things from eggs to cookies to trying to open. The biggest one that I started was fitness, and that's the first business, official business that I got into. Well, not the first official business that I got into, but the first official business that I got into that I registered with CIPC. And it didn't really much work out as such because I think it's because also I was still very young and the vision that I had was just too big. I opened, it was a tutoring school combined with mentorship, combined with wanting to open a journalism and media school. And that's one of the way my YouTube channel came in, and I was also helping small businesses in the townships. My idea was to help small businesses in the townships to grow, as I'm still doing today. So like that passion has still carried me over. And that first business was actually called Kifilwe Tsela, and I've reignited it again. So now my coaching business is called Kifilwe Tsela, but we are just doing things a little different, but the vision still stays the same, improving the lives of others through business, personal, and career coaching so that they can improve their quality of life, have an economic means, and live good. And then I ran it in my community, did a few workshops, had a few matrics that we tutored and mentored and so forth. And then I sort of like went by with my life. And then the second official business that I had was the fitness business that I had. And then that business, I was running it for the past 6 years. I just finally pressed the pause button on it last month, which was April, where I believed that no, my ambitions are moving on to other things now. There are other things that I want to focus on. And now I've put a hold on it. I'll eventually come back to it, I believe, at some stage later on. But right now I'm moving on to other things. But the fitness business was the official business that I ran, and for the past 6 years, amongst many other things that I've attempted along the way, businesses and so forth, but I'm going to talk about this one because it's the main one. It was the main one that was putting bread on the table, so yep, I'm going to start. The first thing that I wish I could have known when starting a business is understanding myself and my needs, So really understanding why you are starting that particular business that you are starting, right? And what are your needs from it? I don't think anybody just wakes up and starts a business just for fun. There's a particular reason why you started that business. And it's so important to sit down and ask yourself that question and find the answer, because it's there. You just haven't given yourself the time to sit down and say, why am I starting this business? What do I need this business to do for me? And is it what I really want? Do I really want to go through all of this for this? So understanding your needs and what you want your business to do for you. And it goes back to setting goals, having short-term, medium, long-term goals, and see if this business that you're starting aligns with the goals that you have. So for me, when I started the fitness business, it was more of I enjoyed fitness, I exercised, I lived a healthy, active life, and other people saw it, they got inspired, and they asked me to help them. And I realized, I can actually charge to do this. And when I started charging, people were open to paying for it. And then I realized I've always wanted to have my own businesses. And I thought, why not make this the business? And then I started working towards making it an actual business, registered it, did all the formal things that needs to be done around a business, da 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 da. So I needed to, in the beginning, the business was to make me money. All right. And my passion allowed for the business to make me money. I never had plans of owning a fitness business for the rest of my life. It just came in at the right time, was able to give me extra pocket money. I was able to support myself in university, and it was with something that came very easy and natural to me. Exercise and fitness came very natural to me. And then I just ran with it. Before I know it, 6 years of my life into that business. So I would have really loved not to have taken so long been in that business for so long, and I think that wouldn't have happened if I sat down and really understood my needs and asked myself if this business has the potential to take me where I want to go. All right. So always ask yourself that question. Does this business have the potential to sustain and provide for my needs? What are your needs? If it's just money, then fine, just run the business for money. If you are somebody who wants to do something that you love in the long term, then really think deep about the business that you are going into. So really, really ask yourself that question. Will this business give me what I want and the kind of life that I want? And then take it from there. Always look 5 to 10 years ahead, right? I'm going to switch this off because it's making noise. All right. And then I'm going to move into the second one. The second one would be, I think it would match with understanding the value that I offer, right? In the business that I'm in, what am I good at? What am I excellent at? What am I great at that the other person is willing to give me money to help them improve or make their lives better? Be very, very clear on that. With my fitness business, sometimes I felt really all over the place, and sometimes doing things because other people in the industry are doing it. And now I'm running there trying to do what everybody else is doing and this and that. And then I forgot to sit down and ask myself, Eski Fidwe, what do I bring to the table in this business that people are willing to pay me for? And keep it to the minimum as possible. 1, 2, 3 things that are your offer, that is your value, that you are great at, that you are excellent at, something that you can do in your sleep, no one can beat you to it, and people are ready to knock on your door and give you their money for it. Run with it. So really, really focusing on what my value is and not being blown by the wind every time there's a new trend going on, and focusing on that value and improving it as much as possible, making it even as greater than it is every single time, making sure that value moves on to the next level and the next level. So I would have really loved to give a badass value offering or value proposition, and focused on improving and growing that. I think if I had done that, I would still be in my fitness business and just focusing strictly on it. But because I was all over the place, I got frustrated in the long run, and I just couldn't see where I fit in anymore in this business. Is it really what I want to do? Only because I complicated things by trying to be everything to everyone, trying to be good and great at everything that the industry has, instead of saying, what's the 1, 2, 3 things that I can take from this industry or introduce in this industry and be excellent at, and just focus on making money from that and serving the people, that niche or that target market, as best as possible, and let me focus on that. But I didn't do that. I was all over the place. So I would have loved to really, really focus on my value offering and stick to it, improve it, and just be super, super great at it more than anything. And the nice thing about having your value and understanding your value is that the confidence that you have will skyrocket so much, because you have gotten to a point where you are now more like an expert or a specialist in what you are offering. because that's what you focus on every single day, and now you've become so great at it. Your confidence, when you speak about it to other people, when you sell it to other people, there isn't any answer that you won't have when people ask you certain questions about what you do. So it really, really improves your confidence when you focus on one or two things that you can be excellent at, improve, and know that you are the go-to person in that industry for your savers. But if you're all over the place, people also start to think, does she really know what she's doing? And then you also start to ask yourself, do I really know what I'm doing? Because today you are there, tomorrow you are there, the next day you are there, and it's frustrating and it's very mentally tiring and exhausting. So know your value, and it will skyrocket your confidence. And once your confidence is up there, people around you can feel it, your customers can feel it, people will feel it, they will trust you, and they will come running to you. But today you're playing soccer, tomorrow you're playing netball, tomorrow you're playing basketball, tomorrow you're swimming. Like, girl, decide where you want to be so that we can know which sport we must watch you at, and you focus on practicing that one sport until you become super great at it and the money comes. So really, really, that's something that I would have focused on. And then it also goes back to being stable. I'm a person, and this comes from my diagnosis of ADHD. I really struggle a lot with focusing on one thing. I get interested in a lot of things very easily, and they sometimes distract me from the main thing that I'm supposed to be doing. I will start 10 things and complete nothing. So I would have really loved to have been diagnosed earlier on with ADHD, because then I would have understood, why am I trying so many things all at once? And I don't think it's a bad thing to try too many things at once. It's actually good, especially if you're in your 20s. Explore and find yourself. I'm not a person who likes to stick to one thing for too long, but at the same time, everybody needs that stability of some sort, especially if you're going to get to a point where you have bills that you need to start paying. Maybe you're going to start being a parent. There's a certain level of stability that you'll need. You need to know, this is what I do. You need a certain routine. You need structure. This is the business that I'm working in, and I'm focusing on this business every single day to bring in the income, and not having that stability, it's not good it's not healthy in the long term. And that's the mistake that also a lot of entrepreneurs make, wanting to be everywhere all the time. They really thrive off ideas and creativity and doing this and trying that, which is absolutely great. But at some stage, I felt like if I just had one or two things that I'm focusing on and building on a daily basis, get it to grow to the level that I want it to grow, and then move on to something else, because what's the point of starting something, only building it halfway? Before it even gives me 1 million, I'm on to the next thing. Before it gives me 1 million, I'm on to the next thing. And where's the growth in that? Where's the growth? So it's very important that you build something to the fullest, to the growth that you needed to get to before moving on to other things, or being interested in other things that just distract the main goal or the main vision. My goal is to really have a massive company, a massive digital marketing agency, a massive business coaching agency, and I also want to open an entrepreneurship academy, and I believe that if I focus on these things, I know where I want them to be. But now if I'm going to keep adding other extra things on the side, I will not get to a point where my digital marketing agency is a big company that can run without me, or my business coaching business can run without me, or my entrepreneurship academy can run without me, because I'm all over the place. So I would have learned to be more stable in one thing, and explore other things just for fun and not because I want money from it. That's another thing. And it could be a topic of its own, because when you are an entrepreneur, young, black, with no trust fund, with no money to fall back on, with no money to explore, anything that promises to give you money, you run after it. And trust me, it never turns out good. I've tried it. I've tried to do this simply because it promises an income. 1 month, 2 months down the line, I'm just like, does my energy really need me to be on this project? Nope. Let me go back to the main project that I'm in, that I have a 20th long-term plan for it, you know. So it's very easy to be distracted. So I would have loved to be more focused and more stable on one business. You know, if it was the fitness business, then fine, let it be that. Because there was a point where in my fitness business, I then started my digital marketing agency after completing my digital marketing course. And that's when my fitness business also started to take a hit, which was a blessing in disguise. But this is just an example that I'm making, that you can easily get distracted. If maybe, let's say, the fitness business was the main business that I wanted to run with, the digital marketing agency would have ruined that, because it's the next promising thing, and now I'm leaving the main thing. Before you know it, I'm back to square one with the main thing because the other thing didn't work out. So stability, being focused and not easily distracted because another thing looks much more promising, is very important. So that's why it's important to know your values. This is my value, and anything that you want to do, always ask yourself, how does this align with my values? How does this project or this job align with who I want to become? Will it give me the opportunities that align with my long-term goals, vision, or career plans? And if not, maybe just look at it and let it pass. Let some opportunities pass, you guys, because not everything that glitters is gold. You'll get into that opportunity and it will deter you from your main dreams, and that's the worst thing to regret, especially when that other thing doesn't work out. Yeah. Another thing is learning not to be threatened. I don't know if threatened is the right word to use, but just learning not to look at other people's success, growth, or progress and think, what the hell am I doing? I've been so hard on myself because I would look at my peers and other people and I would just ask myself, am I really working hard? Am I putting in the effort? What is it that I'm not doing right? I'm trying all these things. What is it that I'm not doing right? And that is very unhealthy. And that's what leads to depression. That's what leads to mental health, anxiety, and all these other crazy thoughts. So on my previous video, I spoke about learning to be inspired by other people and not comparing yourself to other people, So yeah, I used to just look at other people and be like, when am I gonna get there? I'm doing all these things, I'm putting in the hours, hey, hectic, but like, why is my business not growing like how other people's business are growing? When am I gonna make money? I'm not making the amount of money that I want. I'm working so hard, but I still can't afford myself, And then you go back home and home just asks you, you graduated, you went to university, what's going on? You're supposed by this time to have this and have that. Your business won't work. This, and you're just like, is there something wrong with how I do things? Is this maybe not meant for me? What's going on? So yeah, I would go back and not necessarily be threatened by the progress and success of other people. But rather learn to be more inspired. I don't think I was jealous. No. That's one thing that I'm not. I'm never jealous of other people's successes or progress. I just always felt, maybe threatened is not the right word. Maybe I should say I just always felt like, what am I doing wrong that's not making me see the progress that I want? And then I got so hard on myself that I missed out on other things, that could have made my journey as a business person, as an entrepreneur, much more nicer and friendly. I could have met more people. I could have socialized more. I could have made friends. I could have, but I couldn't do all those things because I was completely always focused on, I need to make this work. And it took some things away from me that today I look back and I'm like, I wish, I could have partied a little bit more. I could have traveled a little bit more. I could have made a little bit more friends. I could have went and, did that with my money, but instead everything was just this business. Somebody else has improved. Why not you? Why not you? And that steals a lot of your joy, and it prevents you from really appreciating your journey and the beauty of it, because you're working under pressure and it's not fun, you know but instead, I would advise, just whoever's progress you are seeing and you're inspired by it, talk to them, ask for their advice, tell them where you are struggling and let them advise you on how to do better. And trust me, you are doing great, you are doing awesome, because there would be people who would look up to me and think that I'm doing the most, I'm doing great, I'm doing well. And I would just be like, if only they knew that this is not where I want to be. I want to be somewhere else, there, So there'll always be people who look up to you, and you'll always have people that you look up to. And even the people that you are looking up to have people that they're looking up to. It's like a never-ending pyramid, So rather be inspired and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't feel threatened by them. Appreciate that there's people who are looking at me and want to be where I'm at, and you should inspire those ones, and appreciate that the ones that you are also looking up to can advise you, would be open to advising you, and that they themselves also have their struggles, wishing they could be at another level. That's just life, So yeah, I could have done that maybe a little different. Another one, before I'm gonna close off, I have 2 more to go. Another one is dealing with rejection. Oh my God. Running a business, in the beginning, you're gonna get rejected a lot, especially if your business relies on sales, constant sales for it to run. You're gonna be rejected so many times, and learn to accept rejection and don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. All you need to know is, if you go back and fix your offering, right, and understand who you want to service with your product or with your service, focus strictly on those people, because then in that pool there'll be little rejection, because you are giving your product to the exact people that need it at the exact time. So rejection is always mostly just playing in a pool that you aren't supposed to be playing in, so I would say, go figure out which pool you want to play in, and then go play in that pool. Master your offering and go play in that pool. But in the beginning, you won't master your offering in one go. You're going to constantly keep improving and changing and learning, because you learn, you improve, you progress, you hear other people doing this, you change, and you go and craft your offering. You make it, it's like clay. You are constantly like sculpting, adding this, removing that, fixing there, and before you know it, you've got this beautiful thing. So understand that your value offering, you won't get it, boom, all in one go. And while you are trying to get it, that's where the rejection will be, up until you master it. Nobody knows up until when you're going to master it. I'm still here. I'm still struggling to figure out what exactly my offering is, for all my businesses. But I'm constantly improving. And the more I improve, the more I get new clients, the more I realize this is what I want. And then I remove that. This is what I want. And then I remove this. This is this. And then I add that. And the more I do that, the less rejection I'm faced with, But in the beginning, I would be so sad to say, why did this person choose that over me? Why not me? Why not me? Why not me? Why not me? And it's sad, and it can put you out of business if you don't have thick skin. So you just need to have thick skin. Just wake up and say, I'm going to speak to people, and if they reject me, fine, I'll try again tomorrow. You just need to have that thick skin. Don't take it personal. Just when you go out to sell your business, just put in a poker face. Be yourself, go sell your business as best as you can. Be involved, love it. I'm not saying don't have feelings. I'm just saying that put on a poker face that says, if they reject me, when I get home, I just remove this poker face and throw it off there and go by with my life, So it also took me time, where when somebody said, no, I'm not interested, I would be like, thank you so much. If you should be interested, you know where to find me. buy. It takes time, especially when you need the money, when you need the bread, and you just want to force that person to buy your savers, because I'm like, if they don't buy, then, But that's why I would say what I learned is that do the most important things in your business first. Before rushing for the money, do the most important things for your business first, and your business will thank you. You won't believe how it will flow. Fix your offering, find your target market, and narrow it down. Be as specific as you can possibly be, and find those people and sell a great offering to them and focus on that. And I'm telling you, rejection will go down and down, 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 because you're fishing in the right pool. Too many times we're fishing in the wrong pools, or we haven't even mastered fishing, but you already want to go and fish. You might be fishing in the right pool, but you don't know how to fish. So you need to learn how to fish and then go fish in the right pool, and then you'll be fine. You'll get rejections here and there, but they won't be as heightened as when you don't know how to fish and how to fish in the right pool. Basically, how to market yourself and how to sell to the right clients, So yeah, dealing with rejection, I think part of my depression was also caused by that, because I always would get clients and they would leave and then come back, or clients would reject me, and I just couldn't understand, like, why can't I keep clients? And having to learn that that's the nature of my business. That's the nature of my business, and it has nothing to do with me. I'm doing the absolute best I can. If I manage to get 5 clients, I can get 5 more clients again, So refining your offer will help you deal with rejection a little bit better. But please remember this, accept that in business, you're going to be rejected. But doesn't mean that you can't reduce the amount of times you are rejected. This could be a whole sales training on its own, a marketing training on its own, which in the future I'm going to have those videos. But learn to deal with rejection. And that goes a long way with personal development. Develop yourselves, guys. How I did it, I read lots of books on personal development, on businesses, on sales, marketing. I listened to a lot of YouTube videos on that would just soothe my emotions. I listened to a lot of TD Jakes. I love his work so much. I did the work on my business, and I did the work on myself, personally, emotionally, spiritually, and that will go a long way in dealing with rejection. And then the last one that I want to speak with is having a growth mindset. I think having a growth mindset is very important. Oh, actually, this is not the last one, I'm lying. Let me speak with the growth mindset, the last one. Let me speak with this one first. Reaching out to people. If you don't tell people about your business, nobody knows about it. And I think I've mastered that. I've grown into, it's very easy. I don't go somewhere and I walk out and nobody knows what I do, and it has become natural. That's life. Just take it as that's life. So, hi, I'm whoever. I do this. What do you do? Okay, do you want to exchange numbers? Thank you. Bye. Go home. They might not make use of you now, but that's one more circle that you opened. I've had referrals from people who took my numbers and they referred me to somebody else. They didn't necessarily use my savers, but they knew of somebody who wanted my services. And that's just really how you build and grow your clientele, your network. Reach out, speak about your business all the time. If I could go back, I would speak about my business the whole time, everywhere, anytime. I would dress up with my business brand. I would have business cards. I would have literally something to leave behind. Do that 200%. I would do that. I would reach out to other businesses and ask to leave my business cards or flyers. I would stand on the streets and hand out my flyers. I would speak about my business. I would reach out to people about my business. I would send more emails. I would make more phone calls, and I would go out to more events if I could, and just connect with a lot of people, and not judging people by who they are, where they work, what they have. Literally just connecting with everyone. everyone, because you never know whom they might know in the future, you know. And I would do that a lot more. Still today I do it, but not as much as I want to. So maybe I need to listen to myself on this one as well. You know, have a target for yourself. Say, in a week, I want to at least send out 10 proposals. Have a target and say, I want to make at least 10 calls. You know, say, at least I want to collect 10 contact numbers of strangers when I go to the mall or when I go wherever, you know, and build your clientele. Well, today we can do that more online with digital marketing strategies and techniques. But before then, before it was a thing, that's how you would literally do it, walk out and speak to people. But today, there's ways in which you could do it online, you know? So, yeah, I would reach out a lot more. There's the ABCs called always be connecting. Oh, guys, I would always be connecting. Always, always be connecting. Don't ever go out and not connect with someone in one way or the other. You know, don't undermine the power that it will have for your business. People will market you for free if you're a nice person, if you're friendly, and you just really share with them what you do. I've been in a laundromat, and there were two girls sitting next to me, and I said, hey, next week Saturday I have a group training session. Where do you want to come? And they said, yes, please give us your numbers. Gave them their numbers, and they actually did come, and we forged a long-term relationship from there, you know. And I was nervous because I when I was sitting in the laundromat, I was like, speak to them, tell them about your sessions on Saturday, tell them about your, but something was like, no, let it go, they won't say yes. And I fought with my heart, and I approached them and I told them. To my surprise, they said yes. Had they said no, fine, I'm gonna be a little hurt, but I move on. And that's the thing, the more people you learn to reach out to and the more people you learn to connect with, the more you learn to talk to strangers, the easier it gets. The easier you get to a point where I'm just gonna talk to them. If they say no, okay, bye. You just have that thick skin, you know, you'll grow that thick skin. And it goes back to rejection. You'll just be like, okay, no, Betty, she just didn't need my service, or now, or I'm fishing in the wrong pool. Simple, you know. When I moved into a new place, the lady that stays here, I told her that I'm a trainer because she saw like my cycling, bike, whatever. And she was like, all these gym things. I'm like, no, I'm a personal trainer. She's like, yo, wow, thank God, you know, I've been wanting to exercise. And she became one of my clients. And so it's so important to always leave little bits of traces of what you do, your work, speak to people everywhere you go. ABC, guys, always be reaching out. Don't make that mistake. So I would fix that, and I need to go fix it even today because I think I'm slacking on that. All right. And then last one, growth mindset, guys. I'm simply going to say growth mindset. Whenever things don't go the way you want to, don't say to yourself, I'm going to stop. It's not working out. Rather say, oh, well, it didn't work out. Let's try something else. Let's try again tomorrow. You know, don't let a bad day be a bad month or a bad year. You know, that's a growth mindset. And be open to new things. Be open to learning from other people. Always say, I alone, I don't know everything, but somebody else might know something. You know, have that mindset of learning, growing, wanting to do better. When things go wrong, don't sulk and quit. Do better, improve. One way I did that, speak to a lot of people, learn from other people, always asking questions, always looking for ways to improve. I did short courses. I read a lot of books. I went to a lot of networking events before this COVID thing happened, you know, and I just always wanted to do better. So that's the growth mindset. Always want to do better. Always be open to new ways of doing things. If something in your business is not working that you thought would work, don't beat yourself up. Just go back to the drawing board and say, how can I make this work this time around? You know, it didn't work. Now, how do I fix it? You know, I need to change this. I need to change my business model. It's now post the COVID, the pandemic. How things used to work in the past is not how things are working now. So how do I adjust? How do I become more flexible? How do I do things in an innovative, creative way that will work for the now? You know, always be moving with the times, because if you don't, then you're going to be stuck forever. And a growth mindset will allow you to not be that person who stays stuck because they don't want to learn, they don't want to improve. You know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Don't be that old dog, you know. A growth mindset is about allowing yourself to learn new tricks. So don't be an old dog. Don't be an old dog, guys. So yeah, I would have learned more and more and spoke to more people and seen and did more, that could have improved my growth and my progress a little bit faster, and I could have learned things that I needed to learn for my business, not the things that I wanted to learn and the things that are interesting for me. Yeah, I think this is the most important thing that I need to finish off with. I would have learned things that were important for me or that were a priority for me to learn in my business at that time, and not the things that I found interesting to learn. That's another thing that we do. That's not a growth mindset, that you want to do the things that you want to do and not necessarily the things that are right for the business that needs to be done. I would have learned bookkeeping, a little bit of some accounting tricks. I would have learned the numbers. I would have learned a bit of IT. I would have learned, a bit of this, a bit of that, and not just things that interested me. Very important. So don't just think about yourself, your own needs. Think also about the needs of the business for the business to continue. That's a growth mindset. And also thinking from other people's perspectives and not only your own. That's what keeps a business alive, and that's what keeps a business running. Just being you, selfish in yourself. I'll make it work because this is me. That attitude will not get you far. You need to learn to be an all-rounder at some point in your business, and I would have been more of an all-rounder in other areas, learned other things, so yep, that's a whole mouth that I've said about what I could have done differently when I started my business, or what I would have loved to know in the beginning. And yeah, and it's good that I had this chat, because I'm reminding myself of other things that I now need to go back and reflect and say, but you're still not doing those things even though you know. And that is why it is very important to have a business coach or a life coach or a financial coach, in whatever aspect of your life that you need assistance with. Get a coach, because they are going to keep you on your toes, and they're going to keep reminding you of the work that's important that needs to be done. Because when it's just you yourself, there are certain things that you are not going to see, and there are certain things that you're going to be very biased towards. And as a coach, I'm very realistic, and the truth is the truth, and we get to work. We do things that you need to be doing to get to where you need to get, and coaching you for progress, and tracking your progress as well, and offering a bird's eye view on, do this, maybe don't do that, try this, but why are you doing that? That is this, that is that. And that's the beauty of the work that I do. I hope this was very useful. If you enjoyed it, remember to subscribe, like, and comment. Send me a DM and let me know what you think. I am exhausted now from talking, so I am gonna say goodbye. Until next time, stay well, stay safe, and don't give up.